Not every Black Series figure is a winner. Here's our top 5 most disappointing figures of 2024. Let's dive in.
Learn on the Force.
Hey Star Wars fans! Welcome back to Jedi Twins, where we bring you the latest Black Series reviews and unboxings.
Hasbro gave us some incredible Black Series figures in 2024. Seriously, it was tough coming up with this list because there were so many standouts. The Droideka was an engineering marvel. The Super Battle Droid finally arrived after much anticipation, and we even got a new line introduced, Clones of the Republic, with an amazing 2-pack release of Yoda and Clone Commander Greed.
But as much as we loved so many figures from 2024, not every release hit the mark. Today, we're counting down our top 5 most disappointing Black Series figures of 2024. And to be clear, this is our opinion and is based on the figures we own and have reviewed.
Kicking off our list at number 5, we have Osha Aniseya from the Acolyte. Now, even though the show didn't do so well, we actually really liked the figures that Hasbro released from the Acolyte.
And to be more specific, we don't dislike Osha's figure at all. In fact, there's a lot to like. The color of her clothing looks great, and she comes with some solid accessories: her backpack, a stun blaster with removable holster, a removable vest, and 2 pip droids, one folded up and one extended. That's a nice loadout for a standard release.
Articulation-wise, she's not bad, but her wrists are a big miss. There's no hinge joints. They just rotate, so posing her with some of those accessories, especially the blaster, feels limited. If Hasbro had included better wrist joints, she would have been a wee bit more dynamic.
So, while Osha isn't the worst, she definitely lacks a little articulation in her wrists. A few tweaks with the articulation in this figure might not have made our top 5 most disappointing list. Coming in at number 4, we have Wim from Skeleton Crew. And just like Osha, we actually loved this figure and his character. But there were a few things that held him back from being great.
Our biggest issue? The head sculpt, specifically his hair. It just looks like it was plopped on rather than properly sculpted. In hand, it actually resembles an afro more than his actual hairstyle from the live-action series. It's a small detail, but it really affects the accuracy of the figure.
Now, where Wim does shine is with accessories. He comes with a backpack, wrench, flashlight, walkie-talkie, and a removable jacket. That's a solid win. Hasbro definitely didn't skimp here.
But out of all the Skeleton Crew kids, I think Wim is the hardest to pose with his backpack on. Even though we found the backpack a challenge for all the kids, except for Neil. You really have to find the right balance to get him to stand properly. And honestly, it can be a little frustrating at times.
Even with these minor setbacks, he's still a great figure to have. But between the odd hair sculpt and balance issues, he just didn't quite hit the mark the way we hoped.
At number 3, we have the Holocomm Collection. And honestly, we're just not too thrilled with the Holocomm Collection in general, which is why we included the entire line.
Right. We reviewed 2 figures from this collection, Ezra Bridger and Ahsoka Tano, and both had the same issues.
Let's talk about what we've seen from the 2 Holocomm Collection figures we reviewed. First, the feet don't fit snug on the pegs of the Holocomm puck. This shouldn't be an issue since the figures are made to stand on the holopuck. But it is! From our experience, the figures do not feel very secure on their holopuck and can easily fall over. Second, the wanted sign barely stays in and falls out easily. Again, you would think that since the sign is made to fit in that peg on the puck, it would stay secure. It does not. If you hit the sign or move the puck, it falls out of the peg easily. And while the light-up feature should have been the coolest part, it falls short. The base only lights up part of the figure, which was really disappointing.
On the plus side, both figures came with all the accessories and have all the standard articulation from their Black Series releases, so that's a plus. But overall, this collection just didn't live up to expectations.
Now, if the Holocomm Collection is your thing and you love these figures, then by all means, keep collecting them. But remember, this is just our opinion on the figures that disappointed us in 2024.
Coming in at number 2 is Baylan Skoll, both his original and Mercenary versions. And yeah, we were really hoping for more with this one, as were a lot of others.
The biggest issue? He's way too short. And when Hasbro announced the Mercenary version, collectors were hoping they'd fix the height problem. But unfortunately, they didn't.
Both versions of Baylan Skoll use the exact same body. The only real difference is that the Mercenary version comes with a soft goods cape, which, to be fair, is really nice. But outside of that, there's no improvement.
And then there's his lightsaber. While Baylan does wield a large saber in Ahsoka, the one included with the figure just feels way out of proportion. It looks awkward when posed with him, and it just adds to the overall letdown.
Now, articulation is okay. Not terrible, but not great. And while he does have a decent head sculpt with a good likeness to Ray Stevenson, the scale issue and that oversized lightsaber really hurt this figure's overall appeal. Of note, the lightsaber was a draw for some. When the figure was first released, Baylan Skoll was packaged with an orange lightsaber. And after the release, there were figures that started showing up with a red lightsaber instead of the orange one. The orange lightsaber was unique and it was nice to have.
That being said, we're still glad we picked him up, especially since this is likely one of the last characters Ray Stevenson played. But for such a cool and imposing character in Ahsoka, Hasbro really needed to get the scale right, and they just did not.
And taking the number 1 spot for the most disappointing Black Series figure of 2024 is Shin Hati, both her original and Arcana versions.
Just like Baylan Skoll, size was a huge issue, but instead of being too short for his massive presence, or should I say, not so massive presence for his Black Series figure, Shin Hati is just way too small.
The Arcana version at least comes with a soft goods cape, which is a nice touch, but unfortunately, that's where the improvements stop, as they did with Baylan Skoll's Mercenary figure.
Her hair and articulation are the worst parts of this figure. The hair just looks off, and it needed more highlights to match her on-screen appearance.
And don't even get me started on articulation. She's hard to pose and just doesn't have the flexibility you'd expect for a fast, aggressive duelist like Shin. It's frustrating when you're trying to get her in dynamic stances, but she just won't cooperate.
For a character that was so cool in Ahsoka, she deserved a much better figure. If Hasbro had fixed her height, improved her head sculpt, and made her easier to pose, she could have been one of the best releases of the year. But instead, she tops our list of most disappointing figures for 2024.
That wraps up our list of the top 5 most disappointing Black Series figures for 2024. Though we know some of you might have different opinions. Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Before we go, we've got some exciting news. We're working on hitting 600 subscribers, and to thank you for all your support, we're giving away the Black Series IG-12 and Grogu figure when we get there.
To enter, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel and comment on this video. Give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to share this video with your friends so we can hit that 600 mark even faster.
Also, hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next review, Duel of Fates 3-pack. You won't want to miss it.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. I'm Jedi Joy.
I'm Jedi Jill.
May the Force be with you.